Mic check, 1, 2. Echoey, mic check, 1, 2. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another daily live stream. Today is Thursday, September 25th. Time is it? 1:18 p.m. here in Chicago. It's a nice day today. It's a little on the cooler side. What's funny is I think the high today right now is 70. Yeah, I think that's what my watch is saying. The high today is 70. And back in the day, 70 degrees would be even warm for me when I was morbidly obese. Now that it's 70 degrees, I'm like, yeah, it's a little cool out, which is why I'm wearing a hoodie at this point. Just interesting how even small things like that change that I noticed. Before I continue on, I see a lot of people in chat chatting it up. It's really nice to see. For the Good, Kevin, Lynn, Maggie May, Deja, Tanisha, Aisha, Miss Peaceful One, Chell, Kevin. Did I say Kevin? I always forget. I start losing my place. Leanie, Liver King fan. Anyone else I'm missing here? Margaret from Facebook. How can I forget about Margaret? Kay Betters, Bryant, Mandla. Hello, welcome. Nice to see you all. Thanks for being here again today. Like I said, today is Thursday, September 25th. Can you believe it's almost the end of September already? Where did summer go? How are we already entering October? That's ridiculous. Adrian, I see you in here. Hi, Adrian. Welcome. Nice to see you. Well, it's just fact. Today is Thursday. I'm trying to get that screen up, and this is always, it's very annoying. Today is Thursday, September 25th, 2025. Today is day 690 of my journey. 690 days of imperfect consistency. 690 days of working on my fasting journey. But we all know it's more than just fasting. This is about your health and wellness. This is about taking care of other things outside of just fasting. Yes, fasting can absolutely speed up the process when it comes to dropping weight on the scale, to losing fat, but you and I both know that it takes a lot more than just fasting to get you to your goals. And that's not to say that you can't put a long fast under you to really get things moving. But if you want long-term, lasting success, you are going to have to work your other levers of weight loss as well. Today's topic, I so aptly called it, stop kicking the can down the road with your health. When I talk about kicking the can down the road, it's when you are delaying, when you are procrastinating, when you are saying, I'm just gonna, you know what? It's already Thursday. Let's just start on Monday. When I talk about kicking the can down the road, you're like, or some of you are, I have been there thinking, it's already Thursday, September 25th. It's already September 25th. Let's just start October 1st. Let's just worry about it October 1st. What you're doing is you're kicking the can down the road. You're continuously kicking the can down the road. You're pushing it out and you're waiting until a specific day instead of taking care of yourself today. You hear me say this all the time. Your health should be number one. That should be your number one priority. Your health should be your number one priority. And if the pushback to that is, but Jerome, my kids, but Jerome, my job, but Jerome, my spouse, my partner, my wife, my husband, my mom, my dad. Of course, those are important. Of course, they take a huge priority, but it shouldn't be your number one priority. Your health comes first. You need to take care of yourself first before you move on to the other things. And I know there's pushback when I talk about that, because you could be watching this and you're like, but Jerome, you don't understand. I do understand. If you don't have your health, if you're neglecting taking care of yourself, and I'm not just talking about taking care of the physical part, but the mental part as well. If you're not taking care of yourself in the best way that you can, it's affecting everything else in your life. And then what happens if you're not taking care of your health, and it ultimately takes that away from you, even temporarily? Think about when you get sick, when you get a cold or the flu, and you just feel like garbage for the next 3 days, 5 days. All of a sudden, you can't take care of the things that you normally would. And that's what I mean about taking care of your health. Without your health, you have nothing. Without your health, you can't take care of those priorities. Your kids, your job, your spouse, your parents, whatever that might be. Your health comes first. It should be the priority. And I'm not saying that you have to give up on your spouse. You have to give up on your kids. That's not what I'm saying at all. But if you are giving your all to someone else and not taking care of yourself, it's time to reassess. The one thing that you should ask yourself, though, as well is, am I just using this as an excuse? And I know what people might be thinking. You might be like, well, no, that's not true. How dare you, Jerome? How dare you? How dare you say that? But the truth of the matter is, sometimes some of us use someone else as an excuse. Oh, I can't take care of my health right now. I can't be bothered right now with working on eating better. I can't be bothered right now with exercise. I can't be bothered right now with being mindful on the way I eat because my kids, my job, my whatever. Maybe that's your out. Maybe that's what you tell yourself to keep practicing these bad, unhealthy habits, these toxic habits. Only you know the truth. Only you know what's going through your head. Maybe even just having this conversation, you're like, well, shit, Jerome's probably right. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But the only reason I bring this up is because for me, I would use any excuse in the book to break my fast. I would use any excuse in the book to be like, well, something bad happened at work. I guess it's time to eat now. I stubbed my toe on the leg of this sofa. It really hurts. What a shitty day. Time to eat now. You see how easy that is? Oh, the Cubs lost. The Bears lost. The Bulls lost. Today sucks. Time to eat now. Are you just giving yourself an excuse? Are you just continuing to kick the can down the road? Waiting till Monday, waiting till the first of the month, waiting until your birthday passes. And that's a big one that I hear a lot too. It's the birthday. Jerome, but my birthday's coming up. When's your birthday? Oh, it's next week. So you're not going to do anything for yourself until next week? All of a sudden, when you turn whatever age it is that you're turning, that's when everything's going to magically turn itself around. I've been there. I've gone through it. I know what that's like. If you've done it before, you're probably going to do it again. And you're going to say, well, next year, well, next year, well, next week, well, Monday, well, the first. Stop kicking that can down the road. Just going to go through a couple comments here. Kevin says 110 hours into a 155-hour fast, feeling strong. On track for 3-pound weight loss this week. Congratulations, Kevin. I love that. Thanks for keeping us posted, showing us how things are going with you. Maggie May says, I've been doing OMAD this week. Lost another 0.4 pounds this morning. And perfectly put here. Look at the contrast from Kevin's 155-hour fast and Maggie working on OMAD. This is flexible fasting. This is an opportunity to look at this and be like, I could do a long fast, or you could do OMAD, work on the diet, work on the exercise, and still find results, still find success. I love that for you, Maggie. Tanisha says, being here, I confess that it seems daunting. Thank you for helping me to turn this perfectionist teaching to the concept of imperfect consistency. You're very welcome. And that's many of us. I think many of us get in this all or nothing mentality, this black or white mentality. I'm going to do it perfectly. And if it doesn't go perfectly, then forget it. What's the point? Throw away the day. Kicking the can down the road. How long have you been kicking the can down the road for? For me, I was kicking that can down the road for decades. Always giving myself an out, always giving myself an excuse. Oh, I can't fast for that long, so now I'm just going to eat like shit. When it doesn't have to be like that. If I can't fast for that long, I could still choose to eat better. I could still choose to not go out and pick up drive-through. I could choose to go to the supermarket and pick some healthier foods. Even if it isn't the healthiest in the world, I can still make an effort. I can still make a decision. I still have control. You have control. You have complete control when it comes to a lot of these things. You don't have to throw away the day completely. Aisha says, hi, everyone. I'm back on track with fasting. I hope to fast for 72 or 96 hours. I'd love that for you, Aisha. At the same time, if it doesn't get to 72 or 96, be good with where you're at and push on. But I love that for you. Please keep us posted. Leni says, hello, everyone. I'm on day 4 into my second fast. Congrats, Leni. Congrats. One of the reasons I go through these comments is to let you all know that we're doing this together. I've said this in a previous live stream, and I truly believe it and want to be able to help people and acknowledge their successes and even talk about their struggles and when they're having a hard time. And even with Miss Peaceful One here. So yesterday we had our Wednesday evening live stream, and maybe without getting too deep into it, Miss Peaceful One had talked about doing a 5-day fast, which she's saying here, and says, I had to restart my 5-day fast because I, quote unquote, tasted the banana pudding that I made for my son. And in the same way, as I see this is Miss Peaceful One saying, it is what it is. I'll restart that timer. I'll work on a 5-day, and I'm just looking through this next comment, and I'll push through. And that's exactly what Miss Peaceful One's been doing. Miss Peaceful One's been sharing her journey on our Wednesday night live streams, and week after week after week is really nailing a lot of the levers down, not just working on one thing specifically, but working on multiple things. Imperfect consistency. This is actually a really good way of putting this too, Maggie. Maggie says, I didn't gain all this weight all at once. So I decided to not push myself to try to lose it all at once. Half a pound is better than nothing. And that's well said. That's perfectly said. I have been on this journey now for coming up to 99 weeks. 99 weeks. Yes, I lost this weight quickly. Yes, I lost 80 pounds in less than 5 months. But I've also said week after week after week, I've continued to learn and grow and work on myself. But think about this. If you were on your journey with me from the very beginning, when I started, if you've been on this channel since I have started it or restarted my journey, imagine what it would look like being 98 weeks in or almost 99 weeks in. Even when Maggie says half a pound is better than nothing, think about if you only lost half a pound a week, but you had been doing this week in, week out, day out, you'd be almost 50 pounds down. A pound a week, you'd be almost 100 pounds down if that was the goal that you had to get to, or if you had that much to lose. I always think of the pushback, and I know sometimes the pushback is, but Jerome, 98 weeks is a long time. Of course it is. 99 weeks, 2 years, it's a long time. But what are you planning to do during that time? So let's say you lose the weight like I do in 5 months, then what? Then it's over? Then it ends? No, it doesn't. It continues. And I'll say this, for the people that continue to show up for themselves, for the people that continue to stay accountable and stay honest. And I'm not saying that they have to be here every day. They can if they want, if they find it helpful. But if they continue to be honest and transparent with themselves and continue to work on their journey, they will continue to grow and evolve and figure their shit out. That's exactly what I've been doing. Almost 99 weeks in. It hasn't been perfect. It's never going to be perfect. But that's okay. That's what imperfect consistency is all about. When Miss Peaceful One says this, I believe there's a balance with the push. I usually just stick to my same routine. However, I'm feeling stronger than ever right now. And I love that for you, Miss Peaceful One. And this is also another example of practicing imperfect consistency. You push when you can, get a longer fast in if you're feeling it, eat cleaner if you're feeling it, cut back on the calories if you're feeling it, go for an extra mile on your walk if you're feeling it, but also be okay with pulling back. Like Miss Peaceful One says, sticking to the same routine. Maybe that's the baseline, is that same routine and then pushing hard on some days and pulling back on others. I love that, Mandla. I've been working on my diet this week. I had a hard time fasting since I caught a cold. Hopefully you're feeling better. Thanks to Jerome, I'm learning the importance of not just throwing the whole day away. And there's a lot to be said about that for anybody who's watching this right now, who is used to just throwing the day away, who is used to throwing the mindfulness out the window. Don't forget your other weight loss levers. Do not forget your other weight loss levers. Many of us get stuck in this place of 3-day fast, 5-day fast, 1 week fast, so on and so forth, and forget about, what about my eating? What about my refeed length? What about the choices I make when I eat? What about my sleep? What about my cardio? What about my strength training? What about working on the mental part? Figuring out if I'm getting emotionally triggered over stress, triggered because I am feeling anxious, triggered because somebody said something to me and it makes me want to eat. Or are you just using that as an excuse to eat? These are things you can continue working on for yourself. And I know that there are days where you might be like, well, I don't want to deal with any of it. I don't want to think about it at all. I don't want to, and that's fine. That's your choice, though. That's your choice. Does it mean that you have to throw away the day completely? Does it mean that you have to stop hitting your fasting timer? Does it mean that you have to now spend all the money or $100 on Grubhub because somebody said something to you that upset you? Is that a real reason to give up the entire day? Is that a real reason to overeat? Maybe. Is it a good habit? Probably not. Is it how you should be responding when things like that happen? Probably not. Are there more constructive ways of getting through this? Probably. How will you get better at it? By showing up, by practicing imperfect consistency, by doing what you can for the day, even if it doesn't turn out the way you expected. How else are you going to learn? If you're learning a new skill or a new hobby, you just don't get good at it in a day's time. It takes practice. It takes learning from your mistakes. It takes growing. This is no different. Your health is no different. Okay, I need to get into my nerd stats, but I really do enjoy reading comments and seeing how people are doing. I love this too. Deja says here, once I got healthy, I learned to take care of my family on a whole new level that wouldn't have happened if I didn't put myself first. That's great. And that's well said. And that's a testament to prioritizing your health, taking care of yourself first. Doesn't mean that you have to avoid, right? You know what I'm saying? Just because you put yourself first doesn't mean that, oh, well, you know, there's my son on the floor rolling around in his pee, but you know what? I got to take care of myself. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that you should have some importance on yourself. That is very well said, though. Goodness, there's so many comments. I can't even, I'm just like, as I'm scrolling down here, I'm like, I don't know if I can get to everything here. Thomas says, hey, Jerome, because of my weight loss surgery, I'm not able to eat a lot during refeeds. Currently at 319, down from 385. Congrats, Thomas, on the weight loss. Day 129 in my journey. Because you're not able to eat a lot during refeeds, that's a really good opportunity for you to be able to cut that off. But it also, despite the weight loss surgery, Thomas, what this also means for you is you still have to get the mental part right? You still have to learn how to eat better, to eat cleaner. Because if the mind isn't right, if you're still stuck in your bad habits, I've worked with people who have had weight loss surgery, and I've worked with people who have still gained weight afterwards because a lot hasn't changed in terms of their mental. It isn't just the physical part here, but Thomas, congratulations on getting the weight down. I'm sure you're already experiencing a lot of the health benefits that comes with that. Droog, or is it Dr. Oog Lover? I'm sure it's Droog. Have you ever heard of a protein modified sparing fast? I have. So for anybody who's wondering what this is where you are fasting, but you are, during your fast, you will have protein, but it's strictly protein. And I don't know the exact specifications when it comes to this, but you're eating foods that are higher in protein and probably less in other macronutrients, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to retain that muscle. You're trying to continue to build muscle, especially when it comes to lifting at the gym. I have looked into this a little bit, but I feel like even for me doing ADF, eating every other day, fasting every other day, my results are still pretty good. I'm still able to push heavy at the gym. I'm still able to push even harder at the gym. So for now, I'm still good with ADF, but I have heard of it. I haven't really experimented with it though. I've had clients who do this as well. So you have to do what works for you. Have you tried it? Have you noticed anything different doing it? Let us know. I can't even scroll down for the rest of this because L, goodness, L, I think this is the third time L has gifted memberships. L, thank you so much for the generous donation. Thank you. Appreciate you. L just gifted 5 memberships. There are 5 people now who are added to the Finally Fasting fam. Can we throw some F's up in the chat for the new members? You have this one here too. You have this emoji. Where's my other? I think it's in my bag. Can we throw some F's up for? Oh no, I didn't bring it. I thought I brought my other. That's okay. Hopefully people are throwing the F's up in the chat. There we go. L, thank you so much for the generous donation. Hopefully you're all thanking L for gifting memberships to you all. If you have that membership, you now have that custom emoji. I'll add you to the intro of these live streams. I do need to update that. So thank you, L. Appreciate the support as always. Huge donation. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I got to scroll back up here because I lost my place. But I also need to get into my nerd stats because we're already 30 minutes in. Oh man, we're already 30 minutes in. How does the time? Whew. Okay, let me scroll down here. Slack says, gained 15 pounds in the last 2 weeks, but I'm not worried. Thank you for sharing that, Slack. This is what I'm also talking about when I talk about accountability. This is a place where we share accountability. This is a place where we share the good with the bad. Slack has just shared that he gained 15 pounds in the last 2 weeks, but he's not worried. And I'm going to say this to you too, Slack, is that 15 pounds that you gained, you probably know it's not all fat. For you, in order to do that, you'd have to really pack on the calories there. You know what it takes to get yourself into good, healthy habits. You know that if you are somebody that loses and gains and loses and gains and loses and gains, that this is an opportunity for you now to learn about what those last 2 weeks look like. Were you getting triggered to eat? Were you overdoing it? Were you not making healthy choices? These are habits that you can continue to work on. Slack, and you and I, we still need to talk. So you and I we'll get together. I need to reach out back to you. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for bringing that up, because that's not an easy thing to bring up, especially to just a bunch of strangers on the internet. Although I know a good number of us here are regulars at this point, and I do feel like some of you know each other better than others. So thank you for sharing, Slack. Some of these other comments. Jimmy says, I look like a Super Mario bro. Have you seen what I wore last summer when I was actually Mario? I want to see if I can share that picture. Do I have that picture? Where is my stuff here? I can't get to it. That's okay. I thought I'd be able to. Well, all you have to do is look back at one of my older pictures. I swear I thought, can I just throw it in here? No, I can't. I have the photo here, but I can't. Actually, maybe I can. Oh, damn it. 1 second. Let me see if I can do this. Window. I don't know if this is going to work. There you go. There's me. Same shot. Not same shot, but anyway, that was me. How long ago was that now? That was October of 2023. So almost 2 years ago. This is when I was working at a photo studio as a photographer, and we all had to dress up for Halloween. And so I did look like Mario there. Okay. I'm glad I was able to share that. Goodness, there's so many people in here, and I see all the chat and I love it. I will try to read through this later because I can't read through everything right now. And if you do have questions, please continue to ask. I want to be able to share what I can, so please feel free. Kenny Murray says, need stats. You need my stats? Is that what you're looking for? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, Kenny. Okay, let's get back into it. Today is day 690 of my journey. 690 days. Good days, bad days, but mostly good days. What have I been doing for the last 64 days? Well, for one, I've been live streaming every day now for 64 days in a row. On top of that, I have been practicing imperfect consistency. In the last 64 days, I have, in the last 2 months, 2+ months now, I have done rounds of ADF, alternate day fasts, eating every other day, fasting every other day. Some days eating at around 2,700 calories, some days 3,400 calories, some days more, some days less. In the last 64 days, I've also had some days where I've eaten close to 8,000 calories. There was one recently where I ate 9,500 calories. There are instances in the last 2 months where I have gone on vacation for a week. And despite all of that, despite some short fasts, some eating back-to-back days, some days where I'll eat 9,500 calories, a week where I go on vacation, my weight has still stabilized. My weight has still continued on a downtrend. Why? Because I practice imperfect consistency. Why? Because I don't kick the can down the road. Why? Because I don't wait till tomorrow. I don't say, I'm just going to restart now. I'm just going to throw away the day. What happens when I overeat? What happens when I have a day where I eat 5, 6, 7,000 calories? What do I do the next day? Do I say, well, so much for that, might as well start over? No. The next day I get up, I go for a walk, I go lift weights at the gym, I put the calories to use. I take advantage of the extra calories that I've eaten. In the last 2+ months, I have lost about 30 pounds and I have kept it off and have continued to push the weight down. But let's talk about the reality of it. I've been doing this for longer than 64 days. I've been doing this now for 690 days. Today's day 690. This says the last 689 days because obviously today's not over yet. But you want to talk about going hard. You want to talk about pushing when you can. You want to talk about doing hard things. Let's take a look at what the last 689 days have looked like for me. In the first 19 days of my journey, I lost 25 pounds. 2 months later, I lost 50 pounds. So a little under a pound a day for 62 days. In 133 days, I lost 75 pounds. In less than 5 months, I was already down 140 and down 80 pounds. And here's the thing, losing that weight, you have to remember, when I lost 80 pounds in 5 months, it wasn't like I was 200 plus pounds overweight, because somebody who's 150 pounds or 200 plus pounds overweight, or even 125 plus pounds overweight, will probably lose that weight faster if they did the same protocol that I did. I lost 80 pounds in less than 5 months, getting down to a very, very lean weight, getting to under 140 pounds at 5'3". There isn't much more weight that I need to lose. I was able to do that because I was going hard. I mean, let's be real. I was doing a very all or nothing thing, pushing super hard. At the same time, I was also still eating 6,000 calories, 7,000 calories, still eating what I wanted and being okay with it. During the first 5 months of my journey, my fast averaged about 93 hours, almost 4 days, over and over and over for almost 5 months in a row. Overall, though, in the last 689 days, my fasting average is less than that. It's no longer 90 plus hour fasts. Right now, I average around 49 hours. It's still a lot of fasting in the last 690 days, still averaging on average 2+ days of fasting. If you look at my last 10 refeeds, you know what's really funny looking at these refeeds? Do you remember just maybe a week ago or 2 weeks ago, this was highlighted all over the place. There were a lot of days where I was eating over 4,000 calories. Now, half of it under 4,000 calories. Look at how the calories have been controlled over the last couple of refeeds. Is it under the 3,000 that I wanted? No, but it's still under 4,000. And to me, that's a win. So even on days where I eat 3,200 or 3,500, do I say, I didn't get the 3,000 calorie goal I needed to get? I might as well just eat everything right now. No, right? I move on. I feel satiated. I push on. I move forward. And what does that imperfect consistency look like results-wise on the scale? Well, let's take a look. If you look at what's highlighted in red, you'll notice that I'll push 5, 6, 7 pounds of weight on the scale after a refeed. Look at the very last bullet. This was yesterday. Yesterday, I weighed in at 148.4 pounds after my refeed. I gained 6 pounds. And then what happened today, this morning, 24 plus hours later, today, 9:25, look at the scale, 142.6. I put on 6 pounds after a refeed. I lost 5.8 pounds this morning after a 24 plus hour fast. Did I gain 6 pounds of fat? No. Maybe on the scale, I pushed up in weight on the scale, but I didn't gain 6 pounds of fat. Did I lose 5.8 pounds of fat the next day after a 24 plus hour fast? No. The scale is going to push up and push down, but you want to talk about stability right now? Look at the stability of this weight. Look at what's highlighted in green. If you look over the last 10 fasted weights, and these are just ADF weights, eating every other day, fasting every other day, except for the exception of the very first one. The very top one there is after a 65-hour fast, but that was because it came with a very big refeed. But look at the weights after that, all the ADF fasted weights, just eating every other day, fasting every other day. 143.4, 142.4, 143.2, 145, 143, 144, 143, 142, 143. My weight is stable. Not every day is perfect. The last couple of refeeds, they're not the 3,000 calories I wanted them to be. Some days 3,500, some days 3,700. But the weight is still finding stability. And that's because I'm still applying all of my other weight loss levers to use. I'm still working on my exercise. I'm still making sure I sleep well. I'm still working on lifting heavy at the gym, especially after a heavy refeed day. I take advantage of those calories. I put the calories to use. For me, it's really, I love being able to look at this and know that doing ADF, alternate day fasts, being able to just fast every other day and not have to fast for 3 days or 4 days, that I'm able to find success this way. If you look at my last 29 refeeds, for anybody that's curious what that looks like, in the last 29 refeeds, my refeed time is around 5 hours. My average calories, over 4,000. So even as I've been doing ADF, and even though my calories average over 4,000, I've been able to keep this weight off and still keep it off and continue to lose weight in the process. Protein, high, over 200 grams per refeed, because having high protein days are important for me. Obviously, it's more than just fasting. My daily step average over the last 64 days is about 16,000 steps, a little under that now. Yesterday's step count, under 15,000. It was at 14,118. I normally aim for 15,000 steps a day. So yesterday, when I hit 14,000 steps, did I look at my app and say, well, I didn't hit my step count, might as well order Grubhub, might as well spend $75 and have it delivered to me and not be mindful? No, you already know the answer to that. So what? I didn't hit 15,000 steps. 14,000 steps is still huge. Averaged out, I'm still above my average. Does that mean you have to walk 15,000 steps, 16,000 steps a day? No, it doesn't. I enjoy doing it. I don't get tired with cardio. I walk a lot. I live in the city. I take the train and the bus. I ride this scooter behind me to get around. For me, walking that much is really good for my mental. It clears my head. It's a good, healthy habit, right? For you, what is your good, healthy habit? Do you participate in cardio? Is cardio important for you? You don't have to walk as many steps as I do. Maybe you enjoy riding your bike around. Maybe you enjoy one of these kids' scooters. Yesterday, it was so funny. I was riding this scooter yesterday back to the train. And yesterday, this girl, she was probably like, I don't know, under 5 years old. And she was with her parents and she was on her scooter and she stopped and she just was pointing at me as we were passing each other behind the sidewalk. It was pretty cute. That's my inspiration. I saw a little kid on a scooter and I saw them going faster than me when I was walking. And I said, fuck, I got to get a scooter. And that's exactly what I did. You think I'm joking, but I'm not. The 80-20 rule, everyone. I practice something called the 80-20 rule, which means that some days, or the 80-20 rule is, if you're thinking about my life as a 100% chart, 80% of the time, I'm doing the things I'm supposed to be doing. 80% of the time, I'm counting my calories. I am being mindful about the way I eat. I'm getting my steps in. I'm lifting at the gym. The other 20% of the time, I'm not as mindful. I'll still count calories. I won't go to complete extremes, but I'll overeat. Some days I'll eat 6,000 calories, 9,000 calories. Those 20% days, I might not be going to the gym. I might not be going for my walk or getting all my steps in. But look at the frequency of how it happens. 80% of the time, I do what I'm supposed to do. The other 20% of the time, not so much. In the last 64 days, I've had 54 80% days, where when I do refeed, I eat about 3,100 calories. And this isn't even including the days where I'm fasted. So that's not even calculating the 0-calorie days. And if you look at the 20% days, in the last 64 days, in over 2 months, I've only had 10 20% days, which if you think about it, for about 2 months, that's about once a week, maybe a little more. Because you and I both know that you can't have a 20% day every day. You can't just go hard every day. If you're somebody, and people say this to me as well, Jerome, I have a very social life. I go out on the weekends. That's on you. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's like a 40-60 split, meaning 60% of the time or 40% of the time, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 days out of the 7 days, you're fucking around. And you and I both know that, sure, you can go hard for 4 days and maybe even fast completely for 4 days and eat what you want for 3 days in a row, but usually it doesn't balance out. And usually fasting that often and that extreme and then eating extreme the other way, eventually it'll burn people out. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm not saying that it's not possible. I'm not saying that you can't do it every once in a while, but you have to continue finding balance. You have to continue working on that part of yourself. So what are my goals today? They've been the same all week. Tonight, I am going to attempt again to eat under 3,000 calories. Will I or won't I? The last 2 times I haven't. They were over 3,000, but they were under 4,000. So for me, I still count it as a win. But the goal still remains to keep it under 3,000 if I can, to have at least 190 grams of protein. Yeah, today's the 25th. I was just looking to make sure. We'll share this too. It's been a minute. If you look at my last 64 days, it's still a game of calories in, calories out. In the last 64 days, I have been keeping track of my calories. It's not the most accurate. It doesn't have to be the most accurate, but it's a good rough estimate. In the last 64 days, I have taken in about 119,000 calories. And based on my TDEE, in the last 64 days, I have expended calories out. I have burned over 147,000 calories, which puts me at a 28,000 calorie deficit, or 8.1 pounds of fat. So there's another example. Yeah, I might have lost 30 pounds in the last 64 days. But Jerome, it says that you've only lost 8 pounds. Yeah, 8 pounds of fat. Just like when I refeed, I don't put on 5 pounds of fat. I don't lose 5 pounds of fat after fasting for 24 hours. 8 pounds of fat is still a lot. We get the number on the scale, we get so obsessed about that number, where it is the only thing that matters to us. When in reality, what should matter is, am I continuing to lose excess body fat? Am I continuing to maintain or continue to build muscle? That is what's important. That is what you should be thinking about. That's why I lift heavy at the gym. That's why I still keep track of a calorie count to make sure that I'm continuing my deficit. Because as I look at this particular slide, when I look at that last highlight in green where it talks about my calorie deficit, my guess is I probably have, for me to get to my goal, I'm guessing I probably need to be somewhere between 55 and 60,000 calories in a deficit. I like this number. I think when I'm maybe somewhere around 55 or 60,000 in a total caloric deficit, that'll probably get the rest of the excess fat off of me. Now, that's just a guess. I don't know if it will for sure. I don't know if it won't. I currently weigh around 142, 143 pounds. My guess is I probably have another 6-7 pounds of additional excess body fat. Maybe more, maybe less. I don't know. I've never been in that real territory for as long as I have now. So we'll see. We'll see what that looks like. Those are my nerd stats for the day. Hi, Eric. Hi, Sydney. Nice to see you both. Just some names that I don't think I said hello to earlier. So let's do fit check. If you're unaware of what fit check is where I stand back here and I show you what I look like physically. Fit check is a way for me to be accountable, for me to be honest. Fit check is a way to keep me in check. It's very easy for me to overeat or hide food or pretend that I ate all this food and nobody's going to know. And that's why I record what I eat. You don't have to do any of these. You don't have to do any of these things, right? But I do it because for me, it's a way to show honesty and transparency. So I'll stand back here and I'll show you when I'm 7 pounds up, bloated, or I'm feeling leaner. Like today, when I'm down almost 6 pounds or whatever it is. And yesterday I stood up here when I was about 6 pounds, or I was 6 pounds heavier after a refeed. I show the good with the bad. No more hiding, no more shame, no more embarrassment, no more guilt in what I do. So before we do fit check, we'll go through these photos like I always share. I have been overweight my entire life. I have been not just overweight, but through my teenage years, becoming morbidly obese, through my 20s, through my 30s, and even in my 40s. I'm 44 years old today. In this photo, I was wearing a size 38 waist. I mean, even if you look at my belly, how big my belly was then, I had to wear double XL shirts just to hide my belly. I could wear extra large, just depends. At my heaviest, I weighed 235 pounds. And while that might not sound like a lot, I'm also 5'3". I'm short. And we're having this conversation today at 100 and around 40 to 143 pounds as of today. I have been as low as 125 pounds, but that was years ago. And that was when I wasn't lifting as much then. I show those photos of me as a child and today because weight loss, keeping my weight in check, has been an issue for me forever. It's not like this just creeped up on me. Over the last couple of years. I have been struggling with my weight forever. And at 44 years old today, I'm able to keep this weight off. I've been able to lose it and keep it off without medication, without surgery, without GLP-1, no Ozempic, no whatever, Zepbound, whatever the other ones are called. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't take medication or that GLP-1 isn't the answer for you or that weight loss surgery isn't the answer for you. That's not what I'm saying. I share this and I share that information because there was a point in my life where I was like, there's nothing else I can do. This is just who I am. I will always be morbidly obese. And then over time, I've realized that through healthy habits, through being accountable, through being honest with myself, that I can lose this weight and I can keep it off and it can be sustainable. And it doesn't have to feel like torture every day. I've learned to deal with this because I continue to show up every day, because I continue to practice imperfect consistency. So let's go ahead. We'll do fit check. I know other people are in chat right now and I'll go over that, but just to give you an idea. So currently I'm wearing, this is a boys large hoodie. So it's not even a boys extra large. This is a boys large hoodie. We'll get this out of the way. These shorts are extra small shorts. I can't even wear a size 28 waist anymore because those are too big on me as well. I usually have to wear a belt. So even these shorts, I have to keep pulling them up because if I'm running in them, they'll start to slip off. Front shot, and remember, this is a boys large. It's not even an adult large, it's a boys large. Side, back, side, and I'm also wearing an extra small shirt underneath. I've worn this shirt before. You've seen me wear this Cub shirt, but this shirt, this extra small shirt that I am wearing is a very, very slim fit shirt. This shirt is actually smaller than my extra large boys shirts. It's a little longer, but it's definitely slimmer. So you can see this too, as we, right? Extra small, okay? Side. And again, if we compare it to where I was at here, this is the side. That's currently where I'm at. If you're not sure how small a boy's large is or a boy's extra large, I mean, all you have to do is go to the store, look for that, and you'll see how small I really am. I know people will always ask me too about loose skin. I do have loose skin on my lower belly. You'll see it here, right? Like I can even grab it. These are things I'm continuing to work on. It's loose skin, but it's also excess body fat is my guess. That's where the remaining fat is. I do have loose skin on my neck. People always ask me about that. So this is just the reality of where I'm at. If you all saw what I looked like in the past, I mean, even when it comes to like my neck, my head was just so much bigger then. So of course, like this isn't going to bounce back. I do have loose skin on my upper arms. That's like up here. I mean, you can see it here, right? My upper inner thighs, but it's one of the reasons I lift weights. I always talk about lifting weights because I feel like it'll help tighten up skin. So that's where I'm at. That's fit check, everyone. Let me scroll back up here because I know people might have questions, and actually maybe this is a better call out. If you have questions, I'll answer them now. We'll do Q&A now. It might not even be a question. If there's something you want to talk about, you can bring it up here. But in the meantime, while you might be asking questions, if any of you are looking for help when it comes to fasting, weight loss, or accountability, if you're looking for an accountability partner or an accountability coach, because let's be real, most of us, we know what we need to do when it comes to losing weight. We know that fasting is going to drop weight on the scale. We know that exercise and eating better and eating cleaner is going to drop weight on the scale. We know that already. What you might need is accountability. If you're looking for an accountability partner or an accountability coach, you can go to finallyfasting.com. You can book a one-on-one session with me. We can talk about a game plan and a strategy. I can hold you accountable. And I'm going to share this. Many people who end up coaching with me, there are a number of people who will always show up on the good days. They'll show up, they'll share when they're doing well. When people are all of a sudden struggling or they don't want to deal or be accountable, they'll hide. They'll run away. They will schedule a session or reschedule the session in a future date. Many people will continue doing that over and over and over because they're kicking the can down the road instead of realizing, okay, I'm struggling right now. I should talk about it. I should have a conversation about it. If you don't, that's on you. I can't do much about that. I'm not going to come crawling for you, but you need to eventually come to terms with the fact that you can't do the all or nothing thing forever. Eventually, you will have to learn how to work on your other weight loss levers. Finallyfasting.com, if you think that might be helpful for you. If you do want to help in an additional way, if you want to help support me in an additional way, you can also go to the link in this live stream. The link in the live stream is to be part of the Finally Fasting fam. It is a place where you will get your name in the live stream intros. You get to use custom emoji, and it's just a way to support me. If you do join the higher tier, that is where you can be part of our Wednesday late afternoon or Wednesday evening live streams where we all hold each other accountable. We all have different individualistic goals. So if that's something you're interested in, I'd take a look at that. And even before I can answer questions, Miss Peaceful One with a generous $10 super chat. Miss Peaceful One, thank you so much for the donation. Miss Peaceful One with a $10 donation says, here's $10 as a small token of appreciation. I mean, Miss Peaceful One, you've donated way more than that. So thank you so much again for the support. I mean, all the times I've spent $10 on food that wasn't good for me. This is also a way I look at it as well. I think about how much money I have spent. And let's be real, a lot of money that I've wasted on Grubhub fees, on DoorDash fees, because I didn't want to go to the store and prep or make good decisions. I just wanted to spend whatever money and hopefully get my dopamine hit from food. Hashtag great investment. Miss Peaceful One, thank you so much. Hashtag imperfect consistency. Thank you for consistently showing up. You're very welcome, Miss Peaceful One. Thank you again for such a generous donation. Proud of you and your work and your success as well. So keep going, Miss Peaceful One. And I love when Miss Peaceful One's here because she's so encouraging and so supportive of others as well. And this is what I love. I love when people are able to get results. I love when people are able to figure out, oh yeah, I just got to show up. I just got to put the work in. I just got to continue taking care of myself. And Miss Peaceful One's actually a really good example of that. So thank you again. Thank you so much. Okay, let me scroll up here and see if there are any questions. Bruce says 60656. All I needed to hear was the 606. Bruce, what's going on? Welcome. Where's 60656? 60656 sounds like the area is that by Edison Park? Where's 60656? Why do I think that area is where that is? Hold on, I'm looking. Where's 60656? Oh, I'm completely wrong. Oh yeah, no, I'm completely wrong. Okay. I take that back because I used to live in 60657. I don't know why I was thinking of further west. Bruce, hello. I don't know if you're still here, but hello. Thanks for shouting out Chicago. Okay. Let me see if there are any questions. Oh, somebody did ask. Did I miss something? Let me scroll back up. Scrolling up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through all of these because... Hydro says, as someone who has lost weight through fasting, should I continue fasting if I want to make muscle now? Any advice would be appreciated. Hydro, a lot of this is also going to depend on what your eating looks like. So I'm continuing to work on building muscle. and I continue to fast because I know I still have additional excess body fat to lose. But I also eat in high volumes. I'll eat 3,000, 4,000, 6,000 calories. So for me, fasting makes a lot of sense. For you, if you're able to control your calories, let's say you're able to eat 2,000 or 2,200 or whatever your TDEE is, maybe you can do that every day and lift heavy. Maybe it means just fasting OMAD. Maybe it means doing alternate day fasts once a week while doing OMAD or TUMAD the other days. If you're looking to make muscle right now, I mean, the best way you're going to do that is to get to the gym and start lifting. And that takes time too. It's not like you're just going to build that muscle overnight. That takes time. If you're new, I mean, I know people talk about newbie gains, and I hear muscle can get added on quickly if you've never worked out like that before. But I guess my only advice for now is just start lifting. And if you do decide to fast, when you do lift shortly after you refeed. Or you can do what I do, is where I eat in the evening. I'll eat at like 6 p.m., 5 p.m., 7 p.m. And I won't lift in the evening, but first thing in the morning when I wake up at like 6:30 or 6 in the morning, I'm headed to the gym and I'm lifting heavy. I have the calories, I might as well put it to use. Hopefully that's helpful, Hydro. Yeah, Kevin says, Hydro, that's exactly what Jerome's doing right now. Exactly. K Better says it as well. Hydro, yes, I would start lifting if you want to gain muscle. On your eating days, you need to eat protein to help you gain muscle. Remember, as you gain muscle, the scale will go up because muscle weighs more, and that's a great point. Let's also not forget that the more muscle that you have, the more muscle that you build, means that your body burns more calories at rest. Your metabolism goes up, which then gives you the opportunity to eat more if you'd like, or because you're burning more calories, you'll continue to lose more weight or lose excess body fat. Not weight on the scale, but excess body fat, which is what a lot of us are trying to do. Margaret says, Jerome, this is a good question. Do you keep your quote unquote big clothes? I've been getting rid of my big clothes, so I'm not tempted to gain the weight back. So I've done both. I have been in a place where I got rid of all my big clothes back in 2021, and I gained all the weight back. And then I had to buy a bunch of new clothes again, bigger clothes. This time, I still have some bigger clothes, like that red polo that I shared with you all when I dressed up as Mario for Halloween. I kept that as a reminder for myself of how big that actually was. I don't think I have a photo that I can share of that. I wish I did, of me wearing that shirt, because I've shown you all before me wearing that photo, or me wearing that big shirt. I'm trying to see if I have it, if I could just pull it up. But I don't necessarily keep most of my clothes at this point. I have given it away. I don't even think I've ever sold any. I think I've just given it away. Sorry, I'm looking this way because I'm trying to see if I have that photo of me in a bigger shirt, but I don't think I do. Thought I did. What did I do with all my stuff? I really need to organize my stuff better. That's okay. Maybe next time. I'm still here trying to go through it. No, I don't have it. It's probably somewhere else. It's okay. Oh, actually, it might be on my desktop. 1 second. I'm here just trying to show you. Okay, I don't have it. That's okay. Okay, I'm done. I kept thinking I was going to find it. Yeah, so you can get rid of your big clothes if you'd like, but that's really on you. And figuring out, are you doing things that will keep you at a good, healthy weight for the long term? I'm not saying you have to get rid of them all, but if you are already in a place where you know there's no going back. If it's helpful for you and motivating for you to be like, well, I don't want to buy new clothes again, maybe it's time. Keep me posted, Margaret. Chard says, how do you guys feel about OMAD fasting? I think OMAD is a great tool. OMAD is great. OMAD is something that I eventually want to get to do every now and then. My hope is when I get to my goal weight that I can probably start doing more OMAD and fasting for less. But in order to do that, I have to continue working on my diet, continue working on eating better. That's the question for you, Chard, is if you are considering doing OMAD, how good is your diet? Or do you eat way more in one day that you would push up in weight? Because then OMAD might not be right for you. Or it's something that could be right for you, but you'll need to work on the diet part of it. Thanks, Aisha. Jerome's looking slim and trim. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Let me see here. Adrian says, hi, Jerome. Have you seen any YouTube videos created by Ben? I haven't. If I'm being honest, I actually don't watch a lot of other health YouTubers when it comes to fasting. I do every once in a while, but for the most part, I watch, if I'm being honest, I watch a lot of people eat. I spend a lot of time on YouTube watching people eat, and I watch a lot of Filipino stuff since I'm going to be moving to the Philippines. I watch a lot of language stuff. I watch a lot of car stuff because I'm a car guy. But that's it. I haven't really watched a lot of other things. He released an interesting video one day called Doctors Lie. This is the real cause of belly fat. I mean, maybe I'll take a look at it, Adrian. Thanks for sharing. I haven't caught anything from him though. I'm not familiar with the name. Aisha asks, what time do you plan on live streaming tomorrow? I was so bummed when I missed the chance to ask you yesterday. It's okay, Aisha. I'm glad you're here today. Let me take a look at my calendar. Good question. Good question. Tomorrow's Friday. Ooh, okay. Tomorrow we might actually have an earlier one. Let's say tomorrow, let's actually maybe make tomorrow in the morning. Let's say, I would say somewhere around maybe before 12 p.m. Central. Because I'm going to be here in the office earlier because I have a morning session with someone. So maybe we'll do one earlier in the morning. We'll say sometime before 12. So maybe late morning, maybe around 11 a.m. is my guess. We'll see. Thanks for the question, Aisha. Tito says, do you have loose skin? I do. I have loose skin on my lower belly. That's where most of it is. I have loose skin on my neck, like I just shared earlier. If you weren't here when I did fit check, I do have loose skin on my upper thighs, on my upper arms, as you can see here. It's not bad, but it's like I said, it's one of the reasons I lift weights, because I feel like it helps with like the loose skin that's right here. I did make a video where I lifted my shirt up. I don't know if I have that video on me. Maybe I do. But I can't remember what day I put that out. Let me see if I can share that real quick. 1 second, everyone. I've been making a lot of content lately, so it's hard for me to find everything. Nah, I can't find it. I thought I had it. Maybe not. Oh, yeah, I do. Okay, let me see if I can share this, if it'll work. Share screen, share window. Oh, shit, I can't. Okay, let me try one more thing here. I should have these things on deck, but it would take too much work to put all of that up there. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. So Someone asked me about my loose skin, and so again, you'll see, right? This is how big my belly was then. And this was at my old apartment, the one before I left, right? Me in the same apartment, that's what it looks like right now. I mean, this was taken 2 weeks ago, so that's kind of where it's at. And right, as we pause here, you'll see there is loose skin. It isn't the prettiest, but what am I going to do? I could get surgery maybe in the future, but for now, I still have more weight to lose. I know there's still extra belly fat that I need to get rid of. So if that becomes something that happens in the future, then I'll think about it. But for now, I'm okay with it. Actually, the thing that bothers me the most is the loose skin here on my neck. But again, there's only so much I can do, and I'm not going to sweat it. I'm not going to, I'm not going to stop what I'm doing. I'm going to continue working on myself. So yeah, I do have loose skin. Muksith, nice to see you, Muksith. Guys, how to fight. I'm unable to sleep at night during a water fast. This is common. I've seen other people ask this question. I feel lucky that I don't have this issue, but if other people can share, please feel free. I do really prioritize my sleep though. I do have a very solid routine even when I'm fasting. I lift weights, I go for walks, and I do it almost at the same time. Usually at around like 10:30 or so, I'm already, even at 10 o'clock lately, I'm falling asleep. I don't know if it's because I'm just an old man now, but at around 10ish, I'm already starting to doze off. And I put myself to bed, and then I'm up at around 5:45 to 6 in the morning. So I have a pretty good routine when it comes to that. I don't bring my phone to bed with me anymore. It's not even in the same room. I sleep in a very cold environment. I keep the fan on. So I'm just I have tried to maximize the best way that I can sleep. Jamaican tourist asks, I'm trying to lose 60 pounds. Any tips on how to fast for that goal? And I'm sure other people have maybe helped here, but Jamaican tourist, if you're trying to lose 60 pounds, and my guess is you're trying to lose it as quickly as possible, because that's what most people who come here ask, you just start. You hit your timer and you start fasting. Let's say you eat your last meal at 7 p.m. You hit your timer, you stay up for an hour or 2 or 3, you go to bed, you wake up in the morning, bam, you're 12 hours fasted, 14 hours fasted. And then you push a longer fast. If you're able to get through and skip breakfast, 16 hours in. If by then you're feeling super hungry, try having some water, try having a black coffee, try taking electrolytes, try having even a 0-calorie drink. And if that's not enough, try modifying a fast. Try getting bone broth in, try eating very low calories. And if that's not enough, then break your fast and then go again and build your fasting muscle. If you want more advice on this, I have a playlist called Fasting for Beginners. You can take a look at that, and maybe that'll be helpful for you. So I know that's a very quick and dirty way of saying it. And I know maybe it comes off as, so you're just telling me to just fast? Yeah, that's what I'm telling you to do. I don't know how long you're going to fast for. I'm not going to give you a number. I'm not going to say, just start doing 16s or 18s or 23s. You have to feel it out. You have to try and see what's good for you, and then go again, 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 and then go again. And if the thought process is, but that's crazy, Jerome, I've been doing this for 690 days. And I have literally been going again and again and again and again. Hopefully that's helpful, Jamaican tourist. Tito, thanks for the kind words. Just want to say you're very inspiring to me and many of us here. I appreciate that, Tito. Thank you so much. Aisha, I don't know about that, but thank you. Thank you. We get it, Jerome. Okay, Liver King, settle down. Okay, I think that's all the questions for today. I think I've shared everything that I could. I'm just double checking here. I think I'm good. Okay, with that being said, it's time for me to sign off here. I have a couple other things I need to take care of. So thank you all for being here today. A special thank you to Elle for gifting 5 memberships. And thank you so much to Miss Peaceful One for the generous $10 donation. I appreciate both of your support. Thank you so much as always. Thank you to my Finally Fasting fam. Thank you to others who are part of the Finally Fasting membership. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for supporting me in that additional way. Jordan says, no 50-minute coaching sessions for today? Not for today. Today, I have a pretty long day. So not today, Jordan. Maybe something is available for tomorrow. If it is, check that out. But if that calendar is closed, because I was already looking at my calendar, I have other work that needs to be done today. So there's no 50-minute coaching sessions today. Check tomorrow, though, and see if that's open. But that's it. And then thank you to everyone else that's here today. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for your accountability. Thank you for being kind and supportive to other people. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to me to see you all help each other out. I appreciate that. And we'll do this again tomorrow. If this is helpful and motivating for you, show up tomorrow. Hopefully we'll see you here. And that's honestly all I got. So I'm going to do my obligatory wave. I'll see you all soon. Take care, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.